Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Cochran. Good morning, evening, wherever you are. This is Tech Checks with Troy, aka the smartPTZ podcast. Not too long ago, we did a little behind-the-scenes video where we showed the setup process for all this. Really cool. I highly recommend that you check that out, either after this or right now, just whatever you want. I'm here with Troy. Troy, how are you doing?
I'm really good. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. So first thing I wanted to ask is, what was the idea behind smartPTZ and why did you create this app?
I appreciate that question. It's great to be here.
Thank you.
I started developing it about 18 months ago.
Mhm.
I've always thought the iPhone is a great
Yeah.
tool, a great camera. I've been a video producer, multicam video producer for 6 years. Back before there were PTZ cameras and there were just camera operators. But have evolved with the technology, and they've kind of been on the leading edge, and I thought the phones were about ready to go. I wanted to stop carrying cables,
Yes.
so that was a big a reason for me to start to try to develop it. I saw some of the gimbals, and I saw some of what Apple was doing, and I decided there might be a way to combine this technology, create an application, and in addition to taking the cables out, but maybe having great quality video, also maybe implementing some AI subject tracking.
Yeah.
Cool.
Would you say you've gotten years of your life back with not having to lay cables everywhere?
It's nice. We've been doing events for about a year. We've learned a lot doing along the way, but not laying down cables is nice. Not having to wait for everyone to leave the venue and then pull up cables and wrap them and truck them in and out of spaces has been really very nice. So, we're out in like 10 minutes. We're set up in like 15, 20 minutes. So
absolutely,
it's a lot, and we're rolling in with the backpack now as opposed to with multiple cases of gear.
Yeah, I always say this, but the thing that we like to go for is minimalism. Less is better. This setup, not including like the tweaks that we did, probably took about 20 minutes, whereas regular, Canon or Panasonic cameras that we set up with the cabling takes a little over a couple hours, I would say.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
much more convenient to have this set up with just the iPhones. So,
yeah,
definitely convenient. Where do you plan to go with this app in the coming months?
Yeah, I want to do more subject tracking. I want to use a little bit more of the AI. I want to reduce the amount of effort we as content creators spend on rolling cable and kind of the tedious elements of subject tracking. I think there's some great technology that we can use that will eliminate the need to have like dedicated camera operators. I think that's going to go away in the next few years. So I think these cameras are going to run themselves, and then I think they're going to switch themselves. I know they're going to switch themselves. So there's some technology out there that's kind of listening to voices and switching based on cameras like that. But that can be augmented with information about how people are looking. And so the observations that are made in these cameras and that can be made in these cameras is like just staggering. So I think there's going to be all sorts of opportunities to follow horses, to follow jerseys, to follow balls, to interpret expressions on people's faces and make decisions based on who looks most serious. That's a nice cutaway shot. It's great to have the person speaking, but what if you had a cutaway shot? Which one person would you pick? You pick somebody that was like kind of looking serious, or maybe with a big smile. You can kind of just like kind of teach AI what you're looking for, and then you're more about the creation process and less about the nuts and bolts of moving cameras.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's another thing I was going to ask is, who do you kind of cater or market smartPTZ towards? Because it doesn't seem like with most like professional camera setups, it's usually for live events or panelists speaking, whereas with smartPTZ, you can simply broadcast like a sports event or like a wedding or some kind of bat mitzvah or ceremony or something like that. So is there anything that you market smartPTZ towards, or is it really for just...
We haven't figured out what niches we think it would fit best in. I think it fits best in events where there's not a lot of motion, there's not a lot of crazy movement. So I think it's more like church services,
Yeah.
conferences. If I'm being perfectly honest, those types of experiences, not
Yeah.
fast-moving, large audience experiences. I think that's
Yeah,
still going to
yeah.
be Canon, Panasonic, and Sony for some period of time. But
Yeah.
I think it's going to change, and eventually it will, obviously. But I think all those small events, you
Yeah.
can do it. You can do it. And so, and I also think it used to be you needed the big gear just to do a football game.
Yeah.
At a high school. Well, now you don't.
Yeah.
And I think it's really the up and coming producers and content creators that I'm trying to cater to and trying to meet.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are coming into this like from high school or college that have no expectations, no preconceived notions about how video is supposed to be produced.
Yeah.
And I think without the biases, they're gonna more willing to adopt the technology, and I think they'll do cool, creative things with it. So that's where I think the pickup is going to be. But I also think there's oldies, that could pick it up and make it work too. I'm in that category. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like we are slowly starting to see more of these huge events being picked up with iPhone cameras, because you've probably seen like some of the recent sports commercials are shot entirely with iPhone 17s, and so we're slowly increasing the use of iPhones for professional video use even more.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I saw them; they used it for the Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
They did an entire program with just iPhones. I think they had 16 or 17 phones.
Yeah.
And it proves something, which is that they can be used in professional production environments.
Yeah.
But those production environments are so intense that I don't think they take advantage of all the different elements. Like, I think the phones are maybe geared better towards a high school experience or a small church experience than they are geared towards a live MSL. I mean, you do need those huge lenses.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they're running so many cameras across such a space they maybe wouldn't be as reliable with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But at your church with 3 or 4 cameras, or at your high school event with 6 or 8 cameras and a mesh network, you're right in the sweet spot. And you can record on the cameras. You can't do that with the cameras at the MLS. The cameras that are $250,000 cameras, you can't even record on them. So they have to pull back and have separate recorders attached. These don't need that. They record on board. So I think it's kind of I love that they're showing it in the context of those events, but I think where they're going to excel is in much smaller events, like micro broadcasts, maybe is what is considered.
Yeah, absolutely. How would you say you handle synchronization between camera movement commands and live video feedback within smartPTZ?
So you're asking about whether or not the cameras are in sync or not?
Yeah.
Whether they're tightly in sync, like to the frame?
Yeah, exactly. Like handling synchronization.
Handling synchronization of the video. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the interesting thing. Yeah, and that's what I love about the protocol that we're using.
Yeah.
So the protocol we're using is SRT, Secure Reliable Transport. And it makes sure that the video, as it transfers from the cameras to the laptop, it comes in at a specific amount of time. There's controlled latency.
Yeah.
So all the cameras come back and are received by vMix or by OBS at exactly the same time and processed, held there and then processed. And if a video is lagging, generally speaking, it will drop frames.
Yeah.
And so you won't have synchronization issues. That's the beautiful thing about SRT. Now, if you have bad internet, if you've got a bad Wi-Fi network, or you're doing this over the internet, you don't have good, generally speaking, reliable internet, you're going to run into problems. But if you have a good internet connection and you're using SRT, you are likely going to see synchronized streams in most switching systems. Some have more controls built in to keep them in sync. Some of them have more reporting and metrics that you can observe whether or not they're not in sync. Like vMix is super in terms of showing you what's going on with your SRT streams. OBS works, but you don't get as much visibility. But they all are just getting better and better, and I think this is kind of a protocol that's unmatched because NDI, RTMP, WebRTC, all of these other protocols for sending and receiving video go as fast as you can, essentially, with some exceptions, but get a certain quality and then go as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And what we want is get a certain level of quality, but then also make sure it matches. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many phones can you record and connect all at once while using smartPTZ, or is there a maximum amount that you can use?
Right. There's some people list maximums, like I think vMix says there's a certain number of maximum SRT connections that it will accept. I think we've experimented with 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I think that was past what they recommended, but we were fine with it. I think what you can do is, I mean, the beautiful thing about sending video over IP networks, regardless of whether you use SRT or NDI or OMT, is you can redistribute it and you can bring it back at certain points in time, especially if you can keep it in sync.
Yeah.
So you could run multiple computers with multiple SRT streams and then sub-switch those streams into a master switch. So you could have virtually endless number of concurrent streams, but I think it's very reasonable to do 20 or 30 concurrent streams on probably 3 to 5 computers and expect to have a pretty cool, interesting production with that number of cameras.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if I were to join smartPTZ tomorrow, what problem would you be most excited to help me solve?
Mostly I want to help people get this going. Like,
Yeah.
and I think the most important thing is getting it configured. Like,
Yes.
it's the hard part is, I mean, it only takes 5 minutes to configure
Yeah.
the travel router that we have. It only takes 5 minutes to configure the smartPTZ. It only takes 10 minutes to configure the vMix session. And it takes even less to set them up once you've configured them.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to configure them.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to provide documentation, videos online. I'm trying to be available. I'm trying to get you guys, the interns and our team, available to help people work out the kinks and bring it together.
Yeah.
Because once these pieces are assembled, it's a wonderful solution. Bringing them all together and making sure they work just right and having success is another thing. Like, we were talking about, my background is in live video production, and you know, no matter what you do, the system has to be super solid. So testing in advance is critical.
Yeah.
Right? So anybody that I would say that I want to have to be successful, they should not set this up the first day and take it to a birthday party or a bar mitzvah or a sporting event. You need to set it up and you need to run it. You need to get comfortable with it. You need to, you know, what I call dial it in, and then you can take it out and use it on the regular.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of, I might as well ask, what kind of customization can you do within the app, like with dilation with exposure, iris, filters?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
So
is
you
that-
you can it's got some basic controls. So the beautiful thing is the camera that anybody uses when they have an application on the iPhone is the iPhone camera.
Yeah.
So I'm just leveraging the iPhone camera. We're just leveraging the iPhone camera. There are some features that we have exposed, and there's some features that we haven't exposed yet.
Yeah.
So right now you can change bit rate and resolution, and down the road we hope you can change frame rate. Right now we're doing 30 frames. Down the road we'll do 60 or 90 or 120. Right now we're doing, for the encode, SDR H.264 for streaming, and we're defaulting to HDR HVEC for the records on the on the phones. And then we have some color controls. You can adjust the exposure, you can adjust the white balance and the tint, and you can adjust the focus. But we haven't exposed the full range of things that you could adjust on the camera, which is extensive. And we might expose that down the road, and we might create some profiles. But again, the idea is for it to have the pieces that you need to make it work. So right now, as we've been working with it in events with multiple cameras, I feel like it has everything it needs to match cameras. So in terms of color, you can match the cameras. In terms of color, you can control the white balance. So, and the tint and the exposure, which means you can balance them. Like if one camera's pointing from a sunny position in a wide shot and someone's coming in tight from another shot, we can tweak those so that they look like it's identical. So that's really nice. That's kind of one of the things I like. When you have multiple cameras running, you want them to look the same. And sometimes, if you have it fully set to auto, you lose that ability. So you have that ability to keep them in control, and that's one of my favorite things. In terms of the PTZs, like we basically built it so that it runs a lot like an existing pan, tilt, and zoom camera with the buttons that go up and down and the ability to adjust the sensitivity of the zoom and the sensitivity of the pan and tilt, and then a few presets so you can go bang, bang, bang around the room and lock into people. And then the last thing we built was starting to get into the tracking and the
Right, the smart station.
and the smart station,
Yeah.
the AI tracking capability, AI capability, which I guess we can show now.
Yeah.
Which is if we turn it on, like right now, I'll move around in the frame up, and now we've turned it on. So now we have the frame tracking me.
Yeah.
And so there's no operator behind this camera at all. And if I look up, it starts to gear towards that way. If I look down, it starts to gear towards the down. So it's keeping track of my eyes and which direction I'm looking. And it's hopefully gently, subtly moving.
Yes.
And then hopefully we do the same thing with you, and then maybe we take a wide shot, or we have the wide shot tell it to basically keep the two of us in frame. And then we have this cool, wonderful service where we don't need camera operators, but we still get things nicely framed and nicely captured. And it's capturing in 1080 right now. It's streaming back. We do have someone switching the show. Gray is switching the show here today.
Yeah.
But we don't have anybody running these cameras. And we can show a behind-the-scenes shot later.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But there's nobody running these cameras right now. And if I get up, I'll say one of the last little bit about the smart station is we geared it so that basically it's meant for a station, like this being maybe the guest station for our podcast. So if I get up and I move away from this station, it shouldn't follow me to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll just lose me when I walk off of the stage, and then come back to here, and then wait until someone else comes in to the station area, and then to track them. So that's the idea behind the smart station. Maybe for the home base at a baseball game, maybe for a reading spot in a church or synagogue. Wherever there might be some place that people would come up and speak, and we just want to have a camera pointed at it and tracking whenever they do. So I'm going to step away for 1 second, and we'll see if this works. It should. Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked.
Perfect.
So that's the idea. So it could be somebody else. It doesn't have to be the same person. It just picks up, it loses tracking, and then it reverts itself back to its original position, and then it waits for someone else to come into the shot and starts tracking.
And then,
So that's the first thing that we've done. It's silly. It's fun. You think it's like 5 or 10 different little commands. It's like, turn on the tracking, keep track of this amount of area. When someone leaves, then do this. And so it's like it's got it's like a little script that we wrote.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's based on the AI engine, the video processing system that's built into the iPhone. So it's all being done on the iPhone. It's not being sent back to a server anywhere.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say has been your favorite part or your favorite thing to develop in this app?
I love the smart station. I love I love that. I really think that's cool. I've loved every part of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of little successes. Every time you get it gets a little bit better and does something new and interesting. It's like, I don't know. It's like teaching a little kid how to speak or something like that. I mean, it was ugly baby like a year ago, but now it's turning into be kind of a cool little teenager.
Yeah. I mean, like we've said before, it's like you spent the first few months to a year just scaling it and developing all the central parts of how you would pretty much develop any app. And now you're at the stage where you want to see what more you can do with the app itself.
True.
And what more you can add and how better the app can be.
True. I mean, I feel like I spent 80% of my time working on setting up the database and setting up the web server and set up the API server and the development environments and finding people to work with on this, the developers.
Yeah.
And researching the development process and engaging with Apple and setting up all the technology up on the Apple side. And finally we get to hey, we can adjust the colors. Hey, we can frame people. Hey, maybe we can track some people. This is where it starts to get interesting. It's back to the thing, and it's kind of interesting. It's like, hey, how do we reach people and show them what it does? So it's kind of less about the technology and more about communication. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, Troy, thank you so much for coming on here today. I really appreciate you talking about what smartPTZ has to offer. I think it has so much potential, and I definitely see um, this being used with more live broadcasts in the future, not just
Yeah.
like solo events.
Yeah, we're doing some stuff this summer.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a wedding,
Yeah.
which should be fun. And
Polo game?
huh?
Polo game?
A polo game, hopefully, a polo event. I think it's
Yeah.
indoors. I don't think it's I don't know what it is. It's arena polo.
Yeah.
And hopefully, and then also, we're doing the Smithsonian Institute. We're doing some stuff down on the mall.
Yeah.
So all of those should be good examples of what can be done.
Yeah.
And we're doing the climate. We're doing the EESI
Yes.
All Day Expo in June later this month too. So we've got a bunch of events lined up. We're going to put videos out that show what
Yeah.
we're doing. I'm psyched because having you guys around means we can create some behind the scenes videos.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's awesome. So thank you for having me, and let's go do some cool stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.